I'll let you know that you do the best you can with the equipment that you have. So if you don't have some equipment, then you can modify. Oh, and I forgot to go get my ankle weights. So I'm going to go get those real quick. So hold on. Grab your ankle weights if you don't have them. Got them right here. Okay, so lots of different things. As I said, modify, make this work for you in any way you can. So ankle weights, dumbbells right here. I am only going to use one set of dumbbells. It's kind of a medium weight, but you might want to have multiple sets. Again, you can do without. So for example, just real quick, for example, when we do our curl, so we're doing these here. If you don't have your dumbbell, then do the exercise without, but you're going to do an isometric contraction, so you're going to squeeze that muscle, and you're going to get a lot of benefit this way, okay? So modify in any way you can. Yoga block may come in handy, and resistance band. So we're going to kind of get a little bit of everything today. So again, for this, if you don't have your resistance band, then you're going to do the same thing, just without, okay? So that's how we're going to go about this. Let's have a lot of fun together. So we're going to begin in child's pose, all the way down. Now, right off the bat, you might want to use your yoga block under your forehead, or forehead all the way to the mat, knees wide apart. And let's get ourselves going with our deep breathing. Long breath in, long breath out. Relax the shoulders, relax the arms and the hands. All right, fantastic. Come on up into tabletop and set the block aside if you had used it. And as usual in our tabletop, we're going to push firmly down into the ground, feet, hands pushing into the floor. Round the spine, tuck the chin, arc the spine and look up. So moving through your cow-cat stretching, remember to drive this movement with your abdominals. So you're getting a little core workout here while we're giving range of motion to the spine. As you round the spine, feel the shoulder blades spreading. As you arc the spine, feel the shoulder blades pulling down the back. And then release. Back into neutral spine position, lift the hands off the ground, lean to one side, shake, fingers, wrist, elbow, shoulder. Give yourself a smile. So glad you're here today. Other side, fingers, wrist, elbow, shoulder. Hands back onto the ground, tabletop position. This time walk the knees in close. Extend your right foot back behind. Pull the belly in so your back feels flat. We are using the abdominals here. Make ankle, foot, and toe movements, circles, pointing and flexing, spreading the toes, any movement you can find. As that leg goes back, you want to maintain your core strength, so don't let the belly hang toward the floor. Good. Knee to the ground, left leg back. Pull the belly in first. As you pull the belly in, that makes that back feel flatter. Go ahead and make your range of motion for the ankle and foot. Hands are still strong into the floor. And then release. Lower that knee back onto the ground. Right leg back again. Toes point down to the ground. Let the foot come onto the floor. Push back into your toes to stretch the calf. We're going to release and switch sides. Left leg back. Toes onto the ground. Push back into stretch. Switch sides. We're going to go from side to side here. So get one good push back and then switch. Side to side a couple more times. So you're moving on your own, but it's relatively quick. It's not a long stretch at all. You're just getting the stretch and then moving to the other side. Finishing this last one. And then release. Awesome. Lift your hands off the ground. Shake out the wrist. And this time, now if you need to not be on the knees, you can come up to standing here or even all the way down to seated. So make it work for you. Arms out in front. We're going to make 2 fists and circle the wrist. Hold the arms steady. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Other direction. And release the hands by your sides. Pull the belly in nice and firm. Feel solid here. Breathing in, raise the hands up. Interlace the fingers. Bring the hands behind the head. As the hands come back, we're going to cinch up the belly even tighter. So I really want you to squeeze the glutes. So squeeze your bottom and squeeze the belly. Then lengthen the spine. Look up toward the ceiling. Breathing in, bring the elbows toward each other. Round your spine. Look toward the floor, but don't lose the work in the core. Reach out, open out. So all of this here in your belly and in your bottom should be constant. So those are holding you steady, feet pushing into the ground as well. Okay, so hold that part of your body constant as the elbows open, look up, and then bring the elbows in, look down. So we're going to get the range of motion. Go ahead and look up and down. We're going to get the range of motion through the upper body, but your lower body is staying very stationary. Really holding it in tight. So we're asking our muscles to work, to protect the low back, and of course to create strength in the body. And then release, lower the arms down, and give yourself some shoulder rolls. Add the head and neck as well. Awesome. And any way you can, come on up to standing position. And bring your feet in. We're going to shake out the legs. So just like we do with the arms, we're going to get the toes, the foot, the ankle, the knee, and even the hip. Other side. Find your balance. You could hold on to something if you need to. Foot, toes, ankle, knee, and hip. Awesome. Now, you might want to hold on to something here. I want you to make sure that you're not worrying about balance here with this next warm-up. So hold on to something if you need to. It's just our kickbacks. So if you can grab a hold, do so. And if you cannot, then just reach toward. So like this maybe. Or grab a hold. Now, if your balance is really solid and you want to do this without holding on to the wall, you can. But I want you to make sure that you're really getting the stretch here. That's our purpose, not so much practicing our balance. Okay, let's switch legs. So hold on if you need it. Left leg back. Always asking yourself, being aware, what part of the body are you stretching or impacting? So you kind of become your own teacher here. So your answer, of course, as I'm sure you know, is the front of the leg. So the quads, very important to make sure those are stretched. And this is a great way to do it. Even if you can't get a hold of the ankle, just the movement is fantastic. Okay, awesome. And let's bring the legs wide into straddle position. Now, you might be able to go a little wider than me because of my hip situation. I'm not going to go as wide. You might get your legs out a little wider. We're going to lower down, hands onto the legs, or hands to the block, or hands to the floor. Now, once you've gotten the hands down, you might be able to move your feet a little wider, and then we can start to shift from side to side. So I don't know about you, but I love this stretch. The block is a great modification here, as I'm doing. But this is such a great way to stretch the muscles right up into the hip joint. So you can feel this all the way into the groins. So good. Side to side. And then release, come back to center. You might consider walking the feet back in a little closer and then come all the way to standing. Legs are still wide, reach the arms up high. Stretch it out, look all the way up. Lower just the hands down. Walk the feet in, bring the feet in close, lift into single leg balance. Pull the belly in, find that balance. Balancing poses help you to focus. Make sure the mind has slowed down. That's why we start with our breathing. We'll switch sides. So when we get to the weights, the various strength exercises, we really want that mind to pay attention to what we're doing for safety. All right, excellent. Go ahead and release and grab your band. The loop resistance band. We will start with the first of our equipment, which I was saying, we got a lot of them today. I was thinking, what can we do today that would be a little different? Well, let's just use all of our equipment. All right, let's begin with our typical side steps. So, sitting yourself down, pull the belly in, and begin your steps. Feet stay parallel to each other. You're picking the feet up rather than sliding them across the floor. And you're keeping a slight bend in both the knees and the hips, so you're not standing straight up. Those are our 3 checkpoints. Remember, 3 checkpoints. Feet parallel, feet lifting rather than sliding, staying down in a semi-squat position by keeping the knees and the hips slightly bent. Hold in the center position, or wherever you're at. Breathe in, breathe out. Awesome. Ask yourself the question, where is this exercise working? The sides of the hips. Glute medius, glute minimus, right here. It's where we feel this the most. Let's go again. Sit into your semi-squat and begin. Now, it does get the hip flexors in the front right here too. That's mostly an action of the feet lifting. So in order for those feet to get off the ground, the hip flexor, or the hips, have to flex. That's what's happening. So right where my fingers are, those muscles are working too. But the action of our stepping with the band is primarily here on the sides of the hips. And I know you know this because you can feel it, right? You don't need me to tell you. It's right where it's burning. All right, come back to center. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, there is actually one other checkpoint that I will have us focus on this last set, and that is that your upper body, if these muscles are weak, which they are on everybody, by the way, our tendency is to use a little momentum by shifting the upper body. So I got a lot of movement like this. I used to see this in my in-person classes a lot. So see how much I move in my upper body? Instead, hold still. See how my hips are doing much more of the work here? Okay, so let's do that. Here we go. Stepping, and you're really using your core when you're not shifting your hips, or rather your upper body, laterally. Using your core, that's of course in the obliques, the abdominals, and all the muscles around the pelvis are included in the core. We're almost there. Good, and release. Let's slip that band. Let's see, what am I doing? Let's slip the band off. All right, let's shake out the legs. Good, good, good. So remember, you can always stop early if you're new to this and that was too much for you. Stop early next time. Don't make it so you're miserable, okay? Now, let's come to any place in your room where you can place your hands down on something. So I'm just going to slide my bench into place so I'm in the view of the camera. You're just going to place the hands down onto something. It could be a chair or a bench or a couch. And this is our glute extension. So the band is going to go around the right ankle and the left foot. Okay, so you're in this position right here. Band is around the right ankle and the left foot. you're going to extend that foot straight out. Now the idea here is to make the leg as straight as you can, but I don't think I get mine all the way straight. That sort of is dependent on how thick your band is. The point here, keep going, the point here is just to make sure that you're extending that leg as best as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. We're going to switch the band. So you bring the band around the ankle of the left foot and around the bottom of the right foot. Right foot lifts. Again, we're around the ankle of the left, the foot of the right. Go ahead and begin when you're ready. Steady pace, keep breathing. Belly should be pulled in, core muscles should be active. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Nice job. Remove that band and come on back to your mat and shake out those legs. We're going to walk here for just a few seconds, and what I want you to experience as you move around a little is noticing muscles should feel fatigued. So that you can feel this when you walk. Imagine never doing exercises like this. You know, in 10 or 20 years, it becomes difficult to walk, and you can see why. Because how much you use the muscles that we just exercised, because they're fatigued right now, you can tell. But that's how you're going to stay strong and mobile for the rest of your life. Okay, awesome. Let's head to the ankle weights. So remember, don't have too much weight. You can always add more later. Or when you do this workout as a replay, just make a note. Say, okay, I didn't have enough weight on. Add more later, okay? But start conservative. I've kind of got dialed in the right amount for me. And that's what you want to do too. Okay, here we go. So remember, with our ankle weights, we hold on to something. That isn't out of, based on ability level, it's based on wanting to target the exercise. So everybody hold on to something, and we're going to target the hip flexor again. So right leg, or whichever one you're doing, lift and lower. Okay, modifications here. Smaller movement. If you want to barely lift the foot up like this, that's fine. Slow the movement down if you need to. Fewer repetitions if you need to. If you want it harder, knee higher. I don't want you to go faster. Sometimes that is a way to go to increase the difficulty. But here we don't want to go faster under any circumstance because we're using weight. So we're going slow. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath. Excellent. Other side. Left leg, down and up. So, again, notice I'm not moving around. I'm holding steady. That doesn't happen on its own. I'm holding steady because I'm using my support muscles. So very strong on the support leg. I'm focusing on squeezing the glute as best as I can while I make the movement. I'm pulling the belly in or squeezing my abdominals. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Deep breath. Excellent. Now this next one is our hamstring curl. These are interesting. Remember these from the hack program. All these are from the hack program. We want to make sure that the hamstrings can get really weak. So this is a very important exercise. So we kick back and tap down. Now remember, the problems that we have with this is we tend to lean forward because that makes it easier. Don't do that. Stay standing straight up and don't let the knee come forward like I do here. See how my knee is forward of the other knee? That's a different exercise. I want to keep that knee in alignment. Notice how much harder that makes it. So the knees stay close. Your upper body stays vertical. And this is one where you may, if you're not getting a full range of motion, so in other words, if your heel isn't coming pretty close to your bottom, you have too much weight. If it's too much weight, you might even consider not using any weight at all. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay? Other side. Begin. Now let's see, I did a lot of talking that first time, so I have to kind of calibrate my timing here so that I don't do too much or too little. I think we did several repetitions while I was yapping. Such an important exercise. The legs get out of balance. We get tight to the front, we get weak to the back. All right, I think we're getting close here. I'm guessing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Take a rest. Give yourself a breath. Nice work, everybody. I love doing strength work. It is so important. It is the foundation of the foundations of our fitness. So important that we do this. So let's embrace it. Smile. Have fun. This next one is our leg extension. So the way to do this is to barely lift the foot off the ground with the knee bent. That leg extends and pulls in. So the knee stays stationary. Use a little momentum here. Kick forward. Just slightly, not so much that you lose control. But don't let the leg swing. I'm not letting the leg just kind of do like this. Here I'm just swinging. That's hard on the hip and it's not engaging the muscles. So I'm kicking, kicking. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. Lift the foot and bend the knee, straighten, bend. So I had a doctor's appointment this week. In the waiting room was a senior gentleman, and he was with somebody, but it was time for his appointment. He was sitting in a chair that had 2 arms on it. He had his hands on the arm, and he barely could push himself up out of the chair. I felt really bad for him. He was able to get himself up finally, but man, we got to stay strong, my friends. We got to stay strong. It was sad, and it happens to people. 3, 2, 1. So that basic, fundamental activity of being able to get up off of things. Bed, chair, toilet, car. Basic fundamental movements. It's not about how athletic you are. It's about basic functional movement. And we need to work on it throughout life. I don't care if you're 50 or 80. It's important for all of us. Okay, enough of my being on my soapbox. Now this last one here with the ankle weights is back to putting your hands down on something. So your hands are low. You could use the seat of a chair. Now this one is different than what we did last time. So pay attention to this. I'm going to lift a leg and the knee is going to stay bent. So remember how we did the glute extensions? The leg went straight back. That's not what we're doing here. Here, the knee stays bent. The foot goes toward the ceiling. Go ahead when you're ready. You have to focus and not unbend the knee. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Other side. Left leg, knee bend. Keep the knee bent and begin foot toward the ceiling. What muscles are we working here? Primarily the glute max. It gets a little in the hamstring as well, but the primary driver of the movement is the glute max. Keep your belly pulled in. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Awesome, everybody. Go ahead and release the ankle weights. Okay. Good, good, good. Let's shake it out. Deep breath. Bring your feet wider than the hips. Arms up high. Stretch it out. Interlace the fingers. Spin the palms up toward the ceiling. Squeeze tight through your legs. And release all the way down. Now, a cool thing that we could do for this next exercise is if you have a chair, again, or a bench, or a couch, you could use it. But it's not necessary. So if it's something convenient, go ahead. Otherwise, don't worry about it. What we're going to do is go to bottom to the chair. Okay, so in order to do that, I've got to get my right positioning. Feet are a little wider than the hips. Back stays straight. Arms come out. I hinge down, barely touching the chair, and come back up. Okay? So if you don't have something handy, you're just going to go down to where you think the level of the chair would be, and then you're going to come back up. We're going to use the abdominals. The arms are going to come up, and we lower down. Squeeze at the top. Down, up. So make sure you're in control. You're not sitting into the chair. You're tapping your bottom on the chair. If you cannot do this, don't go down quite as low. No problem. You do not have to go all the way to the chair. Now you're paying attention. If you take a look up here for just a second, so stop for 1 second. Notice how my body is hinging at the hips and at the knees. So I go down, my back stays straight. I do not hinge at the spine. Okay, so go ahead and go again. Let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome, awesome. So good, so good. Give those legs a shake. If you're using the chair, we're going to keep it right there close by. And we're going to do some more of those because they're so important and because they're so much fun. Let's grab our hand weights or dumbbells. So again, as I mentioned, I'm starting with kind of a medium weight. So you have to kind of experiment here. Obviously, you don't know what we're doing yet. For some of you, a 5-pounder might be about right. I have 15s. Okay, so you decide what's going to work for you. We're going to start with curls. So the weight, the palms face forward, pull the belly in, squeeze the glutes, weight to the shoulder. Nice and slow going down. Keep breathing. Four, 3, 2, 1. You can set the weight on the chair if it's handy, or put it down on the floor. Grab your band. See, isn't this fun? Moving from equipment to equipment. Okay, the band is going to be held like this. The palms are going to face away from each other. The one palm comes to the shoulder, The other palm is facing away, and then you extend out and in. If I turn, you can see what I'm doing here. So you're anchoring the band against your chest on the same side as the arm that you're moving. Again, ask yourself the question, what muscle are you strengthening? The tricep. This is the anti-bat wing exercise, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch sides. Hand to the shoulder, and then begin. Palms face away. Hand against the chest, obviously, is staying stationary. Keep the belly pulled in. Leg muscles are active. Holding yourself very strong against the resistance. 3, 2, 1. That sounded kind of like a Star Wars thing, huh? You're keeping your body strong against the resistance. Sounded like a Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars person in particular, but that's kind of what that sounded like. Okay, we're going to go back to our squats, and I can't do that because I put my weights on my chair. There we go. I just moved them. I still have the end of the chair, so it'll work fine. Or you can move your weights if they're in your way. Okay, so back to our squats. Get the right positioning. Arms come up. Now you could cross the arms over the chest if you like, or just kind of have them out in front, whatever you like. Make sure that you're going to hit your chair. Down and up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Give yourself a breath. We go back to the curls. Fun, fun, fun. I hope you're having fun. I am. Here we go. Draw the shoulders back. Palms face forward. Pull the belly in. Squeeze the bottom. And begin. You're isolating the bicep. Nothing else moves except the hinge of the elbow driven by the bicep. Four, 3, 2, 1. And release. Set the weights down and back to the band. Palms face away from each other. One palm against your chest or against the shoulder, front of the shoulder, and begin. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side. And begin. Belly strong. Glutes activated. Sometimes activation is about effort, but sometimes it's about just being able to make the actual connection, making your, having the awareness to be able to engage those muscles. So the more you practice this, the better you'll get at engaging your muscles. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, we are going to switch to another set of exercises. Now this one will be standing, one will be down on the floor. You'll be using 2 weights when we're on the floor. You'll be using 1 weight when we're standing. We're going to do the standing one first. It's going to look like this. You're going to split your feet apart, and your hand is going to come on your front knee. If for some reason you cannot do this, then you could place your hand on the chair instead. But for this one, if you can, we're going to use our body for stability instead of the chair. So you decide. Bend the front knee, the hand comes on the front knee, the weight is to the inside of that front leg. You're going to draw the weight up to the right hip. So to the hip, it extends. You do not pull it up higher than the hip. So weight comes just to the hip. You're going to draw the shoulder back each time. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Step it in, being cautious, of course, because we're handling weight. Make sure you're moving slowly. Other side, step the other foot back. Front hand comes on the front knee. Weight hangs to the inside of the front knee. And begin. Each time, the shoulder pulls down the back. So you should feel that you're pulling not just from the lat muscles, which runs along your sides under the arm, but also the upper back muscles. In fact, this particular form probably engages the back muscles a little bit more than the lat, which is great. It's fine. 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Okay. Remember, you're handling weights. Please be cautious. The weights come down onto the floor. So you're going to position your weights on your mat, like I've done here, away from each other on either side. You want to get that before you come to the floor. So get your weights like this. Then get yourself down onto the floor, sitting right in between the weights. Then if you want, before you lay all the way down, you can bring your weights onto the ends like this. That makes it a little easier once you're all the way on the floor. Okay, then lift the weight up, and you're going to come into a bench press type of position. So the weight is well in front of the shoulders. Please take note of this position. The weight is not on the same line or level of the shoulder. They're in front. So the weights, if you drew a line between my 2 weights, they're almost kind of to the mid-rib cage. Knees are bent, feet on the ground, push the low back into the floor, press the weight up, and lightly tap your elbows to the ground. Push up and down. So you're controlling your weight going up, and you're controlling the weight going down. Now, if you found that you have weight that's fairly heavy for you, then doing 8 or 10 is fine. This is an exercise where you can do a little more weight, so if you don't have enough weight, let's do more repetitions. So maybe we'll get around 15 or so. I think we're around 7 or 8 now. Keep the belly active. If you're still going with me, let's do 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cautiously set the weight down and get yourself back up onto your feet. All right, everybody, nice. We'll do one more round of that. This is a great overall body workout for sure. Okay, grab one of your weights and let's get back into that stance. The split leg, back leg straight, front knee bent, front hand is on the knee. And begin. Use your shoulder, use your back, use your lats. Use your breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Be careful. Switching sides. Front hand on the front knee. Weight to the inside of the front knee. And begin. So again, you're really focusing on drawing that shoulder blade down the back. So that gives you a strong contraction of those upper back muscles. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Cautiously stepping forward. Set that weight to the ground. All right, everybody. Nice. Last time. Chest press down on the floor. Getting your weight in position. When you're ready, push that low back into the floor, firm up your glutes, and press. If you're not challenged enough by this because of the weight, try to get 15 to 20 repetitions. Remember, go slow coming down. So you're controlling the weight both directions. Last 3, 2, 1. And release. Set those weight carefully down. And let's stay down on the floor. Let your arms be by your sides. Give yourself a long, deep breath. Bring your arms right by your sides. Your knees are bent, feet on the floor. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Bridge the hips up. Squeeze the glutes tight. Slowly release back down. Rising back up. Lower back down. Resisting going up. Squeeze tight at the top. Resist as you come down. Five more. Last one. And release. Pull the knees into the chest. Lower your feet onto the ground. Drop your knees to the right. Look to your left. And then switch sides. Take your knees to the left. Look to your right. Back to center. Stretch out your left leg. Wrap the hands around the right knee. Pull it in. Extend your right foot up toward the ceiling. Lower that leg slowly down. Same side, right leg. Wrap the hands around the knee, pull it in. Extend the foot up toward the ceiling. Hands behind the leg, pull into a little deeper stretch this time. Then release, lower that leg all the way down. Left leg up, hands around the left knee, pull it in. Extend your foot up toward the ceiling. Slowly lower it all the way down. Second time, bend up the knee, hands around the knee, pull it in. Extend your foot up, hands behind the leg. Hold here a little longer for a hamstring stretch. If you pull those toes down, it will give you a calf stretch as well. And then release. Lower that leg all the way down, arms onto the ground. Long, deep breath. Take your time, bend up the knees, roll yourself up to upright position. All right, everybody, we're all done. Awesome. So glad you joined me today. You stayed ahead. Nice job. Really a pleasure to have you with me here today. Remember, this will be a great class to favorite and have it so you can get back to it and do it over and over again. All right, everybody, take care. I'll see you next time.